Let us practice some grammar and usage now. Although today the basic focus, please pay attention to this, is going to be reading and understanding the organization of a text, how a text is organized and some inferences. So, we will do today a greater analysis, a more in-depth analysis of how a text is organized. So, before we do all that, since we in our last class we stopped at word formation and vocabulary building, I wanted to practice little bit of grammar and which is also associated with vocabulary and word formation. So, let us talk about some kind of usage and some common mistakes that we often make. Now, I want you to take down 3 expressions: cold temperature, a young age and cheap prices. I repeat, cold temperature, a young age and cheap prices. Do you find anything wrong with these expressions? My next question, do you use them in your everyday communication? If you are doing, then this is a mistake and it is basically called mistakes of category. Some people may also call it redundant words. It is not exactly that, but it is definitely a mistake of category. Now, remember, when you say cold temperature, you have to remember that temperature is a number, it is just a number. We use certain numbers like 0 degree, 2 degree, 4 degree. A temperature cannot be hot and cold, a day may be hot and cold. So, you say it is a hot day or a cold day, or we can even say very less temperature, a fall or decline in temperature, but these cold temperature, such kinds of words, they do not collocate. So, you have already done some amount of collocation in one of our previous classes. So, please remember that. Again, things are cheap, inexpensive things, but not prices. So, we do not say cheap cost, you cannot say expensive cost, but you can say these are cheap things, inexpensive objects, inexpensive furniture, inexpensive clothes. We do not say cheap prices or high prices, prices are prices. So, rather say low temperature and low prices. And what happens to young age? A person is young and old, not age. Age is again a number. We can also say an early age, but we do not say old age, young age. Another mistake that I often find in particularly in the writings of some of our students is the overuse of contractions. You know what are contractions? Can't, won't, shan't, that's, that is like that is, it's, they are, THEY and then an apostrophe and RE. What is so wrong with that? After all, we do speak that way. So, what do you think could be wrong with that? The idea is that in formal communication, we need to avoid as much as we can the use of contractions. And also, it is important to avoid the use of the word etc or etc. It is an overused word and it really does not have any purpose in good writing. It just makes it look quite shabby and inelegant. So, do not use contractions and do not overuse, the use or the word etc. And sometimes people even say etc., etc. You must avoid using this, although it is perfectly okay to use these terms in your oral expressions, in your spoken English, but not in, again let me make the distinction very clear, not in formal writing, not in report writing, not for a report that you would like to give to your boss, not for in an SOP kind of a document which you want, if perhaps you are trying to apply for a fellowship abroad or something more competitive, avoid the use of these. These are the basic things, basic mistakes that you should avoid. Let me now move on to another exercise, or rather the first exercise of the day, and I want you to look at this slide and tell me what's wrong with the following, or what is wrong with the following. Adequate enough 2 a.m. in the morning, please read the slide. Close proximity and result, future plans in the field of physics, a period of 6 weeks, revert back, track record, surround on all sides. Again, mistakes of category. We do not need some of the words, they may be redundant, they are extras. You either say adequate or you say enough, not adequate enough. You say 2 a.m. and the meaning is quite clear. It has, if it is a.m., it has to be in the morning. You do not need to further elaborate it. Close proximity, I am in proximity or I am close, but you do not have to use both words altogether, both words together. End result, it is a very common mistake to use end result. Do not use it together. Any one word is enough. So, you can say in the end or the result of it, or resultant, resultantly. Okay, so, there are both these words would suffice independently, not together. Future plans, of course, I am making plans, and of course, when you make plans, it cannot be, it is understood that is for the future. So, you do not have to use the word future here. In the field of physics, someone has won the Nobel in the field of physics, you just have to say in physics, in economics, in English literature. A period of 6 weeks, 6 weeks should be enough, not a period. Revert back, return back, mistakes of prepositions. You just have to say, I am going to revert to you, I am going to return the book to you. Don't say return back. Track record, he has a good record. You do not have to use the word track here. And surround on all sides. You just say surround. I was surrounded by opponents. You do not have to say all sides. Surrounded by sea, but you do not have to say by all sides. So, now what have we been doing? We have been looking at some examples of words which merely repeat some of meaning which is already present in another word. So, we do not have to repeat these words in good writing. So, let us consider some more examples. For example, a new invention, it is invention, it is new. A prior experience, so experience should be enough. Repeat again, repeat, just repeat, you do not have to say again. Particular interest, very commonly used expression, many of us use that without realizing that just using the word interest is enough. True fact, if it is fact, it has to be true. Usual custom, if it is custom, it is usual. Likewise. I would like to now draw your attention to some reading, and here look at the slide, look at this passage. I will read out the passage for you and then we will do some exercises based on it. This is just a warm up reading. Today we have to do lot of some similar exercises. Enid Blyton, an English novelist, specialized herself in children's literature right from the beginning of her career. She taught for a few years before dedicating herself completely to writing. The publication of the first volume of the popular Famous Five series, written between 1942 and 1963, made her famous worldwide, especially in France, which continues to publish the 21 books of Enid's in the Bibliothèque Rose series since 1954. She tells the story of a group of 4 kids and their dog who are in charge of solving police enigmas. Later on, between 1942 and 1963, the Secret 7, made up of 15 stories, also encountered much success. Her books, translated into more than 50 languages, have sold over 400 million copies. She has been accused of writing without style and of portraying an oversimplified world, and it has to be said that her works have allowed many young children to become interested in reading. Enid Blyton wants to reinforce children's talent for reading while allowing them to discover the world around them, thanks to exciting stories that are full of twists and turns. Please look at the exercise now and try to solve it. First question, rewrite the sentence using the word because, and you have to rewrite this. She has been accused of writing without style and of portraying an oversimplified world. So, rewrite this particular sentence starting it with because and then use the remaining part from the passage given. Again, look at some referential words. Referential words are those that indicate what has already been said before. For example, my mother is a doctor, she practices in Chennai. Who does she refer to? She refers to my mother. So, there are certain kind of pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, this, that, who, which, where, which are used in lieu of the noun or pronoun that has been already referred to. So, those are referential words. So, question is, what does the word which in line 6 refer to? And in line 13, what does the word but signal? This happened, that happened, consequently this happened, but this thing did not happen. So, what does the word but signify or signal? And lastly, what is the main idea of the passage? I would like you to do this exercise in pairs before we move on to more complex reading. Now, let us talk about understanding the organization of a text or understanding text organization. How do we organize text? We organize text by paying attention to certain signal words, but consequently, as a result, in the end, resultantly, which, who, in contrast, along with, as well as, consequently. So, these are the words that signal something. So, because these words are there, this is the way that text would follow. You have to do some prediction, in other words. Now, here is a slide for you. Please look at this slide. I am giving you a passage on Steve Jobs, and I want you to use these sentences and expressions taken from the text and fill these sentences and expressions wherever appropriate. The text has some blanks, you have to use these expressions and fill in those lengthy gaps. You have to do some prediction now how texts are organized. Please look at the text now. I will read for the slide for you. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak co-founded Apple Computer, designing and building personal computers in the Jobs family garage. Here is a big blank, not just a word, but you have to think what fits best in this blank. Jobs and Wozniak continued to design and release improved versions of their computers, building Apple Computer into a commercial enterprise. Within 5 years, Apple Computer had grown to become the largest private manufacturer of personal computers. Again, there is a gap, fill it in. We continue. Steve Jobs was the public face of Apple for much of its history, and there is a blank. Inside the company, it is claimed Jobs exerted a level of influence unheard of by most corporate leaders. Capable of drilling down through the rank and file to communicate directly with his employees at any level, Jobs was often praised for his ability to motivate staff and control product. And the last blank, former Apple staff have referred to him as obsessive, paranoid and tyrannical. He was known to be caustic in his criticism, and many Apple staff found his meddling in the minutiae of product design infuriating, but many also praised his ability to spot opportunities for new products that other people missed. How do you fill in the blanks now? Take a few moments and then I will give you the answers soon. Let us look at the first one, and the first could be, you see we are talking about the early stages, early growth in Steve Jobs and another is Steve's partnership, and then there is we are told that how they started manufacturing, designing, building in their family garage. What should follow? The answer is right here. Their first personal computer, look at the fifth bullet point, the Apple one sold for so many dollars. Okay, and then we move on because they are still in the early stages, therefore, their first Apple computer. Within 5 years, Apple Computer had grown to become the largest private manufacturer of personal computers. Largest, and then there should be the third bullet point, and the second largest manufacturer of home computers in the US. You see, largest private and the second largest of home computers in the US. Now, let us look at this blank. Steve Jobs was the public face of Apple for much of its history. Inside the company, it is claimed Jobs exerted. So, what is the best answer here? Look at the fourth bullet point. He represented a belief in the premium design, etc. So, see how well it fits. Now, let us look at the next blank, and then there is a reference to that Jobs was not always an easy boss to work for. Therefore, this is followed by former Apple staff have referred to him as obsessive, paranoid and tyrannical. He was not an easy person, but in spite of all this, many also praise his ability to spot opportunities for new projects that other people missed, and his ability to clearly conceptualize, describe and bring to fruition his vision, the first bullet point. So, I hope you understand the signal words. If people are referring to him as obsessive, naturally the earlier sentence has got to be something negative, but there is a there is a contrast here in the last line, but many also praise it for what? So, there has to be something positive. So, look for that. So, these are the signal terms, and the full text of this passage is available on this link. Now, let us move on to do another exercise. Please look at this slide. This is about Malcolm Gladwell, who is the author of Blink. Malcolm Gladwell is one of a new generation of American authors who toggle between lit crit, cultural commentary, self-help, marketing, how-to, brain function, business studies and futurology. He is a writer on the New Yorker, where he contributes a continuous stream of fascinating school of Nicholson Baker stories, including a recent masterpiece about why tomato ketchup tastes so good. There are so many newly coined words here. Please look at the slide again. Cultural commentary, self-help, how-to, brain function, futurology, toggle, new generation. Please look up all these words in your dictionary. A very recent edition of any dictionary would tell you the meanings and usage of these words. You can also go to any online dictionary that are very quick on the uptake. Now, I want you to look at the second paragraph of this passage, and your exercise is to rearrange the following sentences. You have to rewrite, rearrange, these are all jumbled sentences. The money shot in Blink is thin slicing, Gladwell's term for that ability to make a rapid judgment on a small amount of data. Gladwell called this idea epidemics, a coinage that stuck. It was a neat idea and a deserved success. The title too has now passed into the language of business. Gladwell has a good eye for the premium price branded concept. He is, as he might put it, brilliant at pattern recognition. Gladwell's reputation was made 5 years ago with a book called The Tipping Point about how brand whispering can alter the reputation of products. Now, you have already seen the first slide, this is the second slide, this is the second paragraph. Please rearrange and let us see a more coherent paragraph that makes better meaning, better sense. And here is the answer. First bullet point, Gladwell's reputation was made 5 years ago. Second one starts with Gladwell called this idea epidemics. Next, Gladwell has a good eye for the premium priced. The money shot in Blink is thin slicing, Gladwell's term for that ability to make a rapid judgment, okay, because as we are already told, he is good at branding concepts. So, therefore, again going back to Blink and the money shot in Blink. Money shot is something that made something a big success. You can have a money shot in a film. Money shot in Spielberg's Jaws is the shot where the shark makes its first appearance, things like that. We are going to do now another exercise in reading. Before we do that, I would like you to practice some speaking, and let us call it pre-reading exercise. It is a warm up to your next passage. So, I am going to give you your topic. You have to describe your favorite building. Describe your favorite building and try to talk at length about where that building is, what happens in that building, or what are the uses of that building, and why do you like that building. Again, before I move on to that passage, I would like to talk to you about something called tone of a written communication passage or tone of a passage. Tone, T-O-N-E. I know that tone also has some scientific connotations, but here we are talking about something more language related. So, what is tone? Tone, when you shout at someone, you say it is an angry tone. But what about written communication, tone in written communication? Now, in written communication, tone suggests the attitude of the writer, okay, and it can be recognized by the choice of words and phrases. Sometimes tone can be extremely compassionate, okay. Sometimes it could be extremely exuberant and laudatory. The passage that you just read about Enid Blyton, what is the tone of that passage? Finally, what is the main idea? There is a question of main idea of that passage. Main passage is that she may not have had great style, but she has influenced people, inspired people to read more, and therefore she being such a hugely popular author, she has inspired many people to read, and it is evident by the huge number of translations that her books have inspired. So, tone is obviously, it is an admiring tone. The writer, the author of that Enid Blyton passage is definitely full of admiration for the late author. Again, Steve Jobs also, it may be critical at times, but it gives a very balanced overview. So, again this it is written in laudatory terms. So, again tone can be compassionate, it can be humorous, it can be ironical, saying something but meaning something else, it can be angry. Okay, so, that is the way we describe or understand, try to understand tone. It is difficult, but it will come with practice. So, the next passage that we are going to do, among other things, try to identify the tone of the writer. Here it goes. The passage is about the John Hancock Center, it is a building. An iconic presence in a city of architectural icons, the John Hancock Center rises boldly from the mid-American prairie to cast a cultural shadow much larger than the one it gets from the sun. It is a staple of movies, television, newscasts, T-shirts, corporate logos and children's drawings. The John Hancock Center is photographed, idealized and simplified into its various components and used for all things Chicago. It is visible everywhere, both visually and in branding for all sorts of products and companies in the city and suburbs. But once you get beyond a 50-mile radius, the Hancock's identity begins to fade and become confused with its taller, younger, possibly even better looking sibling, the Sears Tower. It is not surprising that the majority of Americans confuse the Hancock Center and the Sears Tower. Both were erected at roughly the same time. Both are black monoliths and both are located in hardcore flyover territory. In fact, many tourists are surprised to learn that Chicago has not one but 4 super towers with a 5th under construction. When it comes to scraping the sky, New York and Los Angeles simply can't compete with Chicago. In its simplest form, the John Hancock Center is 4 vertical beams connected by a series of cross braces forming a square tube is perfectly comprehensible to even the most casual observer, and the reason you can sometimes see it scrawled on sidewalks in children's chalk doodles. A simple rectangle filled with axes topped by 2 sticks representing the building's antennae is an almost universal symbol of Chicago for millions of people. Here is your exercise based on this section. I would like you to match the words with their meanings. The passage, as you might have recognized, is extremely rich in vocabulary. So, please read on. Iconic, boldly in this sense, in the context of this passage, staple, monolith, scrawled. Please take a moment look at the possible meanings on the other side. So, let us solve it. Iconic, extremely significant, an iconic tower, an iconic building, an iconic person, an iconic star. That is the way we use the word. We do not go around using this word very carelessly. It has to be, it has to refer to something of extreme importance. Boldly, conspicuously, the tower boldly rises. Staple, staple is inevitable. Salt is a staple part of our diet. So, very significant, extremely essential, without which you just can't do. Monolith is a single massive structure, rock or any piece of metal. And scrawled is you write carelessly, often in handwriting which is not too legible, scrawled across. Now, let us move on to this exercise. Please take a look at this slide and answer the questions given. What does the author mean by the following statements? To cast a cultural shadow much larger than the one it gets from the sun. Second, it is perfectly comprehensible to even the most casual observer, and the reason you can sometimes see it scrawled on sidewalks in children's chalk doodles. Please work in pairs and solve this exercise. And the next question is, you have to imagine a situation where you have seen or heard about or read even about a major building. Talk to your friend about it, make some comparisons. In your language, try to bring as much vocabulary that deals with comparisons, taller, shorter, better looking, things like that. Let us move on. It is the same passage. Please look at the slide. The John Hancock Center does not fuss with setbacks like other tall structures. Its broad shoulders carry its massive girth all the way to the top. But that is not to say it is a box. The tower tapers as it gets higher, an unnecessary use of forced perspective in a skyscraper that is already one of the biggest in the world. The effect is that the glass and steel obelisk appears even taller than it really is. The construction of the Hancock Center was a game changer for Chicago's north side. Before 1969, North Michigan Avenue was lined with fairly uniform and elegant mid and low rise buildings that some compared to the look and feel of Paris. Next slide. When the John Hancock Center came online, it ushered in a wave of skyscraper building along the magnificent mile that transformed it into a modern canyon of commerce. There was originally supposed to be 2 skyscrapers here, which is why it is called John Hancock Center, not the John Hancock building. The second tower would have been east of the first, but the developers could not wrest the land at 195 East Delaware Place away from the very private casino club. The developers sent a letter about the second tower to the then club president Doris Winterbottom. She ignored the letter and the development went forward with only one tower. The letter in question was found in Winterbottom's papers after she died and was later publicized by the Chicago Tribune. I would like you to explain the following. First, its broad shoulders carry its massive girth all the way to the top. It is talking about the center, and see how he is almost personifying the center. Personifying is using or imposing human attributes on something which is so clearly an inanimate object, a building, but building is tall and it has broad shoulders and it carries its girth well, its weight well. Second sentence that I would like you to elaborate and explain and discuss with your friends. The construction of the Hancock Center was a game changer for Chicago's north side. What could it mean? And last the last question, what is the tone of the writer? He is talking about a very important building, a center, but not in a usual descriptive way. It is not a flat tone. Look at some of the expressions here. Let me take you back here. Doesn't fuss with the setbacks like other tall structures. Okay, a very chatty, informal tone, but giving you lot of information. Again, let us look at it. An unnecessary use of forced perspective in a skyscraper that is already one of the biggest in the world. Look at the next slide. Modern canyon of commerce. So, the language is at time quite informal, quite friendly, at the same time it does not display as if the writer is overawed by the building, which is such a monumental piece of or work of architecture right in the middle of the city. Let us look at another slide, and this is another exercise for you. Use these words in sentences of your own. Of course, first use your dictionary and find their meanings in case you are not very clear about the meaning. So, tapers, ushered in, obelisk, girth, canyon of commerce, lined with. Make sentences using these expressions. Please look at this particular slide, and here are some references. You can use them and improve your reading abilities. So, thank you very much. That is the end of the class today.